Okay. Oh, yeah, it does say to sign in. Okay.
You're listening to the Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio Network on CWERadio.com, home to such shows as Aristocrats Radio, Broadcasting Under the Influence, The Courtesy Flush, The Clutch and Wiggle Experience, and my own show, The Radio Ghosts. Clutch and Wiggle Entertainment Radio, uncensored internet talk radio, sports, sex, political and entertainment news. Because what else would an immature adult want to listen to?
You are listening to Double Talk Radio, heard live or on demand at doublekradio.com. Double Talk Radio is for mature audiences. Language and subject matter may be unsuitable for some listeners. Double Talk Radio has been available since 2009 at doublekradio.com.
You're listening to Double Talk Radio. This ain't your parents' Double Talk. I'm back.
Shaboom boom, everybody!
Yeah.
It's Double Talk Radio.
Mannequins displaying lingerie and other skimpy clothing may soon be banned in India's cosmopolitan city of Mumbai. This is the best they've got. This is the progressive city as an anti-rape measure.
Ah! Got it! You see that shit? This bitch is sitting on the stand like I'm about to get this A&E deal. Y'all can suck my dick.
I think they have put something in the water.
Sounds like a guy who really hates his wife. You did this to me, dirty bitch!
I need my supply of Pop-Tarts, goddamn you!
But my gambling addiction did not go away, so I'm broke, and I give out hand jobs to hobos just for hamburgers.
Just remember this. Double Talk Radio. Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern. doublekradio.com.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Double Talk Radio Live here on the CWE Radio Network. Not sure of the night and time, but we're going to be on Bad Tomato FM, and of course on Rant Radio Friday nights, on demand all over the place, iTunes, Stitcher, you name it. I am DK. And before I announce our next guest, very troubled with some things that are going on, and I thought I should make a formal announcement that we are no longer taking sponsorship from Paula Deen anymore. Just so you know. With me tonight is a fantastic, funny lady. She resides now from, I believe it's somewhere near Grand Rapids, Michigan. We'll find out. So we're a little closer to home for me. Excellent show called Toggle the Switch, which you can hear at toggletheswitch.com after this show is over, of course. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Susan Wygmans, or as I will refer to moving forward as Susie.
How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. And I know you're worried about your voice and all that stuff.
I've been sick for about, almost 2 weeks now.
That's summer flus are the worst.
It is. And it was my daughter was leaving to be a counselor at an orchestra camp. And the night before she left, she's Mom, let's go and watch a chick flick in your room. And I thought, all right, well, let's do that. You know, my husband was gone, so we pile in the bed watching the movie. She coughed all over me for the entire movie.
Damn germs, eh?
God damn it. So it was a lovely parting gift from my daughter.
You're going to have to forgive me because it's not a knock against your daughter. But as soon as you said, my daughter's leaving for orchestra camp, the first thing that popped into my head was this one time at band camp.
Well, I am a band geek too, so yeah, I know. And it's like that.
I'm sorry. It just flew right into my head, but that's how my brain works. But
well, band camp is pretty fun, I'll tell you that.
I've seen. I've seen on certain movies and stuff. But
well, it's maybe not quite that extreme, but.
So is this a family affair with I really didn't know you other than, watching what you post and a few things I've heard. This is a family deal here? Or?
Well, we are all very artsy fartsy at our house. My two sons are both in, my oldest boy, he is a comic illustrator, very talented young man. He's going to be moving to Chicago here in a few weeks and to find a little bit bigger art scene than is in Grand Rapids. And you were right. I am very close to Grand Rapids. I actually live in Kentwood, which is just, it's about 15 minutes from downtown.
And so, I need to say right off the bat, yes. I really go at Detroit full steam. Right?
Oh, yeah.
And there was shootings at the fireworks on Mondays. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that.
I'm not surprised.
But you're in a very beautiful part of Michigan. Like you're up by Lake Michigan, right?
I'm about an hour from the lake shore, and it is very beautiful over there. I don't get over there as often as I would like, but it is very pretty. And it's a very nice place to live, a little conservative for my taste, but still a really cool place.
Do you ever see Ted Nugent running through the woods? And
he owns a big chunk of Lake County, which is north of where I live. And my dad has actually met him up there because he goes there and he goes to all the local bars and stuff. But I think I saw him one time, but I don't believe I've had the pleasure of meeting him. If
they ever cast Green Arrow, for the superheroes, It should be Ted Nugent because he's really huge on the bows. He does not like guns.
That's right.
He always said, he's always on TV. Of course, I get, is it WTBS or whatever the Michigan public station is?
Yep.
Michigan
that's
Outdoors.
right. You and I are really fairly close to each other geographically.
And we were I think you and I should start our own podcast, fair or whatever they call those things. Because
we should for the Midwest.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I know you get out to L.A., but that's a long way, and I've got my passport and all that. I'm good. I'm clean, but it's that. I get busy with my son is really involved in sports. So, and I coach and I don't coach soccer, which is what's going on now, but he's got a major tournament in, it's just outside of Cleveland this weekend.
Oh, nice.
And, we're representing, Canada.
Very good.
No pressure, kid. No pressure at all.
I had never been in Canada until February of this year. I had to renew my passport and everything. It had expired a couple of years ago. And I was taking my daughter, my musical, well, I only have one daughter, but she is going to graduate school for performance. She plays string bass.
Awesome.
And we were applying at a variety of universities for her master's degree, and we had to go to Boston, to Boston University. So we looked at the map and thought, well, hell, we got to go through Canada.
It's funny. We're actually, portions of us are south of you.
Oh, I know, totally.
It's totally weird. Nobody really gets it, but.
Yeah, but it was very nice. We went to Niagara Falls and, did all the tourist shit and stuff. And I did find that the Canadian border guards are much nicer than the U.S. ones.
Oh, yeah. They're like, come on in.
Yeah, they had no problem. Come on in. Let us show you around.
Yeah, lots of land still to conquer here in Canada.
Yeah, and then the U.S. guys are like, why were you in Canada?
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you bringing back?
Why are you going through Canada?
Do you have Muslims in your trunk?
Yeah. Although the one guy, because we had Dana's big string bass in the car, and the one guy was like, what's in there? And we're like, it's an instrument. It's a string bass. Well, I'm going to have to see in there. Okay. Come on in. Oh, it's a string bass.
A string bass is the big tall.
The big tall
those
one.
of us that don't know, it's about a foot taller than a cello.
Yes, and it looks like a cello, just big.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she also plays electric. It is cool, and she's just a little bitty girl. She's only about 5'4", and she plays the great big bass, and she's very good at it. So I'm very proud of her. Now, is
she, and forgive me if I'm not good on term, but is she more like orchestra, or does she do like old rock, or?
She can do anything, actually. Orchestra is her favorite, classical. But she is also very good on electric bass and is very good at jazz, even though it's not her favorite. She can play rock. She can lay down a bass line for pretty much anything.
I think the Wygman family should make DK a new intro.
Well, that would be unusual, because it would probably be a combination of a mandolin, a French horn, and a string bass.
And I'm unusual, so I mean, it would all go into play very nice. I mean,
yeah.
So, who plays the mandolin?
That's my husband, and he also he is an instrument builder.
Oh, wow!
And he actually made an electric bass for my daughter Dana, it's fretless too. It's just awesome, because it's easier for her to not have frets, because she's used to that.
Right, on the large bass.
Right. So it's really cool. It's got it's made out of walnut, and it has a maple through the body neck. It's just a beautiful instrument.
That's an art. That's got to be like veneer and all kinds
of. It's amazing. He's so talented at what he does, and he doesn't think he is, but he makes he makes mandolins, ukuleles, guitars. He made the one bass, dulcimers, all kinds of things. But it really is. He would love it if it was a business, but at this point, it's really just a hobby.
I think if it became a business, it becomes stressful.
That's right? What I think too.
Do it in the garage, but you can tell him that you're talking to a guy right now that cannot even hang a picture. So he should take great pride in everything he does.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Christmas time at my house, when I got to put together stuff, is not good. When I see Legos, I run. I run for the hills.
Legos are awesome.
Legos, no. 50,000 parts.
Legos are fantastic. And, speaking of Legos, my co-host, Carl, who just let me know that he's listening to us right now. Hey, Carl.
Hey, and I was going to go there next.
Oh, okay.
Carl, yes. Just hold on for 1 minute, but don't leave us. I definitely want to shout out for Carl in a minute, but I want to hear a French horn player.
Yes.
Is there like a solo and like I don't know, like in the Lone Ranger tune or something that does the French horn player ever like break out and stand up and?
Well, I'll tell you what, you've never heard a really majestic movie soundtrack that didn't have an awesome French horn part. The French horns do all the cool stuff. Like in Star Trek, Star Wars, any kind of really grand, majestic sort of a piece. And they also are the ones who do like during a battle scene, they'll have an instrument, you'll hear an instrument going, bleep, bleep, bleep. That's always the French horn.
The French horn, okay.
Yep.
And how many keys is the bleep, 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 bleep?
You mean like how many notes?
Like how many things is it like a trumpet? Is there 3 buttons?
There's 3 buttons.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a trumpet, but it's the round thing. You see them at Christmas
Oh, I know
time.
what a French horn is.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like. I just didn't know, like, the sax has, like, more holes than Octomum, right? Like, it's like, you know. But, so it's got the 3 buttons.
Yes,
right? Okay.
It's got the 3 buttons. And so all the notes that you play, we have at least a 4-octave range. You just play with the 3 buttons. There is an additional thumb key as well, and that helps you play really high and really low.
And am I wrong? Was it Chuck Mangione played French horn?
No.
Am I right? No?
Chuck
No.
Mangione is a trumpet.
Trumpet, okay.
Flugelhorn.
Okay. I know
That's
the guy.
different.
I know the guy from my hometown there.
Okay.
Alexander Zoychuk. He's the flautist.
Ah.
I don't know if you ever heard of him. He's played in the Alexander Zoychuk or.
I have not heard that name.
I'm really stretching my knowledge when it comes to orchestra music. I love it. I like.
Well, it's not something that you would know about necessarily unless you were, totally into like classical music or whatever, or you were a player.
I just know when Ric Flair comes in, he's a professional wrestler. He comes into that dun 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 dun.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I love that. And anyway. So let's go back to Carl. So let's talk about your show for a second.
Okay. Well, and Carl he sent me a Twitter message that he's listening, and he is all the way over in Adelaide, Australia.
This is so cool to me. So, folks, the name of the show, if you're just joining us, is Toggle the Switch, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which is really cool because you're in, like, northern USA. Mm-hmm. Right, like about as far north as you can get in Michigan. And your co-host is in Australia.
Yes, and it usually works out pretty well as long as Skype is being agreeable.
Yeah, and we're on Skype, but we're close, right? Like
and we have a good connection. He doesn't have the best connection, but he's getting internet in his house and Wi-Fi and stuff. I believe we were on his cell phone or mobile phone, as they say down there, mobile, that internet connection. So it was a little iffy sometimes, but we always seem to make it work somehow.
Oh, it's a great show, folks.
Thank you.
I usually end up peeing myself, for lack of better terms. At first, I got to say, Carl, like, I'm like, slow down, man, slow down. I'm not used to this yet. But once you get used to the, you call that a knife?
Yeah,
that's not a knife.
Well, Carl's accent is
awesome.
a
I love
whole mishmash of things because he grew up in England. He was born in England. And so I think he was there until he was about 20, I'm guessing. I'm sorry, Carl, I'm not remembering exactly. But then his wife, who is Australian, they met in England, and she stole him away to Australia.
What a beautiful country. I'd love to go there.
I would too. Well, I've got to someday. I've got to meet Carl in person one of these days. I mean, we have been doing this show for about a year and a half, and we've done 61 episodes, and we've been heard in, I think, 67 countries. So that's pretty exciting. And we have guests, and I have done a few by myself. He doesn't have quite as much free time as I do because he's got little kids and a full-time job and, all that regular stuff.
I can relate to that, Carl.
Yeah.
I can relate to that.
But we sure have a good time when we're able to get together. This summer, we're going to do it about every 2 to 3 weeks, I think. But we also want to start having a few more Google Hangouts. We did that. I think it was last fall.
You Americans and your fucking Google. Travis Clark started that on me. You don't have Google Voice in Canada.
Oh, you don't?
No, can't get it. Anyway, go ahead.
Oh.
I apologize. You just hit a note there.
You know, I really like Google Plus, but not as many people are on Google Plus. In fact, Travis and I were talking the other day about, because we both have communities on Google Plus for our podcasts, but people, you know, they don't interact so much. We do have a few people that do, and they're awesome, and we interact with each other. But
see, you're going Google Plus, and I'm betting all my chips on going back to the new DK.
You're not going back. You're going
MySpace.
Back to MySpace.
Yeah.
Oh my God! It's been so long since I had a MySpace. I don't think I'd know what to do.
I don't either. I set my page up, and I'm like, oh my God, where do I go from here? This is another fine mess you've gotten us into.
I haven't even looked at it, to be honest with you.
Oh, it's terrible.
Is it terrible?
Yeah, it's, I don't know. Between Facebook and Twitter and trying to get people, we should just trust in our genius and broadcast. That's it.
Well, I know. And, you know, the broadcasting it is very fun. I just enjoy it every time I do it. And obviously, Carl and I like doing this because we've been doing it for long enough that I feel like, you know, we're going to stick around for a while. But we really didn't know each other very well.
I wanted to know how you met. Like, that's the...
We actually kind of met on Twitter. And we both followed the comedy podcast Walking the Room. And so a bunch of us, you know, get to know each other, and they call their fans cuddlers. So all of us cuddler people get together and chat, and we get together in LA when we go to the Podfest. But Carl and I just started talking on Twitter one night, and we just were having such a ball. And he heard me on Tales from the Attic.
Oh, another great show.
Yes, Seth Wright. I
haven't got
Seth
on yet, but you're on my list, Seth.
Oh, Seth is going to be a lot of fun. He's a firecracker, I'll tell you what. And he's just he's a wonderful person. I have gotten to meet him several times. Every time I've been to LA, I've gotten to see him. So that's been great fun. But in fact, it was when we went out to, it was my first time in LA, and all of us stayed at Vicky Pez's house. Do you know Vicky Pezza? She's on the Naughty Show.
That one I haven't. I've heard of the show, but I don't know her.
Well, we all stayed at her house, and there was a fair bit of imbibing in alcohol and other things, and Seth decided he was going to record interviews with everybody. And I'd never been on a podcast. I'd never even thought about it. I couldn't stand how my voice sounded recorded, you know. So
you were just a fan.
Yeah.
At this point, you loved podcasts.
Yes. In fact,
cool. That is so cool.
That was it. That's all I knew. I knew who Greg Behrendt was because I'd followed his comedy. And I was looking for something else on iTunes, and I stumbled on his podcast. And that's how it all started. And then Carl heard me on Seth's show, and I don't even know, we got to talking, and then he was on vacation like the next month, and we were just talking back and forth and trying all these different social medias, you know, and trying Skype and the old Google Messenger and stuff like that, and seeing what we could do. And one night I was just talking about it. I was like, oh yeah, you know, it'd be fun to do a podcast. I was thinking about it, and he said, oh, I'll do one with you. And 2 weeks later, we put out our first one.
Wow. And this is completely off track, and this is to Carl. Is he in the chat room?
No, he's at work.
Oh, okay. But Carl, how the hell do you get a month off straight? Well, this is one thing and they do that in Britain as well, because I was in Montego Bay one time, and I met these people, and very charming people from England as well. And they're 4 weeks. They're just touring the Caribbean.
He does.
I'm like if I get 5 days.
Yeah, he does seem to get a lot of time off, and I'm always teasing him about that. He's like, "Oh, yep, holiday, 4-day weekend, 4-day weekend, 5-day weekend, 3.5 weeks off at after Christmas." And that's when we dreamed up our podcast. We were ridiculous. We were so excited about it, and I didn't think he was going to like the name because I don't even know how I thought of it. I don't know. And I told him, because I wanted to hear him say it in his accent, because I was totally enthralled with his accent. I mean, that has worn off a bit. Carl, I still love you. But at first, I was like, oh, my God, this is, like, amazing. I'm talking to this person who has this cool accent. And he's so funny anyway. I always feel like he's the funny one, and I'm the straight man.
Well, you're funny, too. See, you can't you always got to have the straight man. That's,
right.
But, no, yeah, his stories are grand.
Aren't they great?
I love them, yeah.
We have great chemistry together. I love it when he's there with me, and I like doing them by myself occasionally, but I just miss his input and I just miss our chemistry when he's not there.
And you love to say, this fucking connection, and you play a song.
And Carl loves to say, fuck me, Roman.
And the way he says it, I can't, there's no, and I played a thing about 3 weeks ago, and it explained the word fuck. And what an excellent word it is, and how many different ways it can be used. But until you hear it with an accent,
True.
It's like a fine wine. It really is.
That is true. I didn't used to appreciate it as much as I do now.
It's a great word. It wears off when you're married and all that good stuff. But
yes.
The word itself is a gem.
It is. It's so descriptive for so many purposes.
Yeah, exactly. And my favorite one is hide and go fuck yourself.
I have not heard that one before. I have learned some new phrases from Carl. I learned Christ on a bike. Like if something is exasperating, Christ on a bike. Or that's one of my favorite ones that he does. But fuck me, Roman is his classic thing.
Yes, I heard that once. Yes.
And
what is it like to be fucked Roman?
I don't know.
Carl, tweet me at WaterCoolerDK. Descriptive number. Fuck me, Roman.
Fuck me, Roman. Yep. But he's the first one. In fact, when we talk about his accent, he just always says, yeah, my accent's fucked. But his wife did not like his English accent.
Oh, no.
So, no. And he would do it for me. And I was like, oh, well, okay. Yeah, I like your new accent better.
How the hell do you change your accent?
I don't know, but he's been in Australia long enough. He's a citizen now, too. So he's been there long enough that I think a lot of Aussie is rubbed off on him down there.
That's a good mix. Aussie
yeah, I do too. I like that too. And we've had several English folks on the podcast, and our roving reporter is Beth Lockhart. She's kind of my stand-in co-host. If Carl can't do it, we've done a number of them together. And I also love podcasting with Monica Hamburg.
Oh, listen, she's my gem.
I know.
She's my homie.
I know. She's Canadian too.
Yeah, even though we're like 4 time zones away, she's been on with me several times, and she's the one who introduces me to everyone. I'm a major, just sidetracking, but major podcast fan myself, and I listen to all these shows, and she's like, she'll say contact Travis or contact Susan. I'm like, they won't come on my show. Like, you got to be kidding me! I listen to them every week. Like, there's no way. And Mike Sands and Tower Sour and Contact, and everybody is so gracious, and I have such a blast I'm having a great time already. It's almost time
too.
It's almost time for our first 5-minute break so you can pee.
I know. And then last night when we were messaging each other, we just kept going. We're like, blah, 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 just talking and talking and talking. And I thought, oh, we're not going to have any problem tomorrow talking at all.
Never. And I'll tell you, it's funny, like you talk about meeting people from all over. I said I was going to Ohio for a soccer tournament.
Yes.
Matt Vanderpool, by the way, folks, who will be with us in 2 weeks. Stand-up comic, he does shows with me, another show I did. He's like, well, you're in Ohio. Where are you? What are you doing? And I'm like, I'm so busy because it's a soccer tournament, right? Like, we're going to be at games, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. But, like, what a beautiful thing to be going to a town that you've never been to and be welcome and not be able to hook up. Like, it's like unreal. It's surreal. It really is.
I have found the podcasting community to be the most wonderful group of people that I've maybe ever encountered. They're just fantastic. And Travis may have told you that we kind of belong to a loose group called the Pod Mafia.
I am a member. I never
You
speak.
are a member now.
I never speak because the people in there are very, very mafia-like. I don't feel at home yet, but I'm in there. I'm a member.
You need to jump right in.
No, I as vulgar and aggressive as I can be, I'm very timid about that.
Wait, have you heard Carl? He's pretty vulgar and aggressive.
Carl and what's his name? Is it
Cat
Damien?
Soren.
Cat is the one.
He is awesome. His swearing is like poetry. I've never heard anybody that can swear as much and as well as he can.
I've never heard anyone do a one-man show like that guy in my entire life. I could listen to that guy speak. I could listen to that guy speak for 12 hours.
Yep. Now, the first time I listened to him, I mean, I'd known him for a while, but the first time I heard him, I couldn't understand probably 50% of it. And Carl listened too, and he was like, oh, I didn't have any problem. And I thought, okay, obviously I need to listen a little more.
It's like tuning in an AM radio. You know, you got to kind of adjust a little bit. I'm missing a few things here. And then,
yes, but he is awesome, and he does that new podcast with Davian Dent. And
Davian's amazing too. Another one I love. These guys, I don't know but what time is it if I get them on at 9 o'clock Eastern?
Well, that's the problem. It's a big problem for England because it's going to be 3 o'clock in the morning because it's about a 6-hour difference.
I don't think Cat sleeps, though. He's a zombie.
Cat is pretty flexible. He has co-hosted with me a couple times and been a guest a couple of times. But, like, Carl gets up super early in the morning to do it with me. So, because it's usually about, 5 or 6 o'clock my time. Right now, we are only 13 and a half hours apart. This is our better time. Now, when it turns to summer there and winter here, then we go to being 15 and a half hours apart with our respective daylight savings times.
It's almost like flying to the moon.
I hate the time zone problem.
Yeah, it's like, come to Canada, everyone. The border guards are really nice.
They are nice, but don't go back into the U.S. if you've been in Canada because you're pissed off.
Don't cross that dirty, unprotected border. Don't ever do it.
No.
Oh, wow. See, I told you. Time for a break.
All right.
So, folks, you're listening to Double Talk Radio. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. I want to talk about Under the Dome.
Yes.
Because I don't watch a lot of TV. And when I do, the last one was probably Lost.
I never did watch that.
Lost, Cheers.
Mm-hmm. What about The Walking Dead? Did you watch that?
You know what? I've got Walking Dead on my hard drive. I've got what's the one with the motorcycle gang? I just got really into that.
I don't know.
The one with Peg from Married with Children.
I am not sure what one that is.
I'll find out.
All right.
Break, but I'll look it up. But I've got that and Borders, Game of Thrones, all those. I've heard all
Very
about it.
good.
And I was heartbroken when what's his name from the Sopranos died right in the middle of the show last week.
God, I know that was.
I was like, you
tragedy.
gotta be kidding me.
I know, and he's young.
I'm a few years away from him, but I'm like, wow.
Yeah, that's way too young.
It is. It's tragic. Anyway, folks, you're listening to Double Talk Radio. I'm here with, I'm referring to as Susie, but it's Susan Wygmans from Toggle the Switch. Great show. Carl's listening all the way in Australia. We're having great fun, so stick with us. We're going to take about a 5-minute break here, and we'll return live and all kinds of stuff. We've got a good hour and a half anyway, almost.
Oh yeah.
So we're still rolling.
Great.
So go pee.
Okay.
We'll be back.
Okay. How am I doing?
Awesome. It's
good.
See what I mean? It
is. It's easy.
We haven't touched anything yet.
I know. If you want to talk to Carl, his Twitter is Tofu Party.
Holy jeez.
I know, it's weird.
How do they expect to be followed?
He doesn't expect to be followed. He is. I didn't want to talk about this on the show, but he's really quite anti-social media and stuff, which is weird. It makes it a little harder for me because I do the bulk of the, promoting and stuff. But I don't really care because I have a little more time.
Yeah, and I love it, but that's the fun of it. Listen, I need a minute. I'll meet you back.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Hi, everyone. Be sure to check us out at doublekradio.com. Follow DK on Twitter at WaterCoolerDK. For all the inside scoops and latest news, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/doublekradio. Double K Radio, where talk comes alive.
Now, remember that takeaway game we did with the really rude pizza bloke?
Very, very rude, man.
I found someone a lot ruder.
Have you?
A lot.
Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Hello, yeah. I think there's someone in your place. 2 of my friends, in fact.
What?
There's 2 of my friends are in your place at the moment, and I can't get through to them. Pardon?
I'm not a message service. It's a pizza shop.
Yes. I just need, right, there are 2 friends, and I need you to find them for me. I think they're in your place, okay?
Right. What's her name?
Right. Anita. You writing this down?
Go, right.
Anita. Goffradump. G-O-F-R-A-D-U-M-P.
Anita Goffradump.
This man is my arch enemy. Such fun having an enemy. You should try it. Here he is. Hello, I was just wondering, do you deliver?
Yes, we do deliver.
Okay then, I'd like 1 large pizza.
1 large pizza.
With liver and pineapple.
Liver and pineapple?
Yes.
We don't do liver and a pineapple and a pizza.
Sorry?
We don't do liver on pizza.
Okay, I'm back.
Well, you said you deliver.
We deliver off you little...
Such a pleasant man. And again?
Pizza.
Hi, do you do takeaway?
Of course we do takeaway.
You do takeaway, yeah?
Yes, we do takeaway.
Okay. What's 12 minus 6?
You Pizza.
Hello there. I was wondering if I could order a pizza from your fine establishment.
Oh, you want to order a pizza, do you? And is your name Mike? Off, you wee!
This is producer Scotty from the original Double Talk Radio. You are listening to the new and improved Double Talk Radio.
Oh, Lord. Where else are you going to hit Uncut Radio than when we go to a commercial break and you get bonus material?
I know. I think he said he heard my toilet flush.
He might have heard your toilet flush. He probably heard me running to the laundry tub because my toilet's too far. We don't have bathrooms in Canada.
I've heard that.
I had to run and get a beer, and oh my God, chaos. That's the thing. I told you, when you go live, it's Second City, man. There's no editing. I'm not gonna go back and change anything.
Right. Well, it makes it a lot easier that way. I labor over ours way too much, and Carl does the editing sometimes too, and we always want it to sound good and take out the farts and coughs and.
Well, the farts are the best part.
Well, farts are good, and Carl says he farts a lot while we're recording, but I almost never hear them. And I always say, why don't you just rip off a great big bubbly one so I can hear it?
And I'm checking the stream right now, Susan, and we have the biggest crowd since I've came to the network.
No way.
We are peaking here. Over 100 people.
I'm peaking.
Over 100, well over 100 people actually, I don't want to say the number, heard us flush and run the laundry tub.
Awesome.
It's okay, folks. Fart. Do it.
Hey, one time I had to pee in the wastebasket.
You're like my wife. She's like shameless. Is Mommy tuning in? No, just kidding. We'll be driving down a highway, and she don't wait for a rest stop. As long as there's a tree with leaves on it, we'll pull over.
When you gotta go, you gotta go.
You gotta go, and I respect that in a woman. I really like that. It's much harder for you guys.
It is.
It's very good. Strong thigh muscles too.
Well, there was just no holding it, and it seems to me. I don't remember which episode it was, certainly. It was one that was a long time ago. And we were really having a good conversation, and I thought, I can't stop to go pee. I'm just going to have to do it in the bin, as Carl
on the show.
Yes.
Folks, you have to go back and listen to all 61 episodes.
But you can't hear it. I was very quiet.
That's good, though. Now, I'm going to sidetrack. We're going to talk about some stuff, but since you said that, it reminded me, I know I sent you some articles, but this is going to, all this will lead into one thing or another, but there was an airline flight, and I guess it even ties into Australia because, well, not really, but there was a flight from San Francisco to London, okay? Mm-hmm. And United is a big American company, right?
Yes.
Okay. There was an 11-hour plane flight where they ran out of toilet paper.
Jesus, that's a lot of shitting.
A lot of shitting, a lot of, pissing for the ladies and for the guys that miss.
Yes.
We need the odd little piece of toilet paper in case we forget to lift the seat. And they replaced them with napkins. On the flight, but you gotta. This is the kicker. The napkins, and I have a picture of this. I got to post this. The napkins that they put in were in a little thing, and they wrote toilet paper on it. And here's what the napkin said.
What?
Fly by the tips of your fingers.
That's perfect. Oh, you know who else you need to have on your show?
Who's that?
Speaking of flying, is Sean Kathleen. She's the Sassy Stew, rants of a Sassy Stew.
Sean Kathleen?
Yes. I'll hook you up with her, but she was a flight attendant for a number of years. She's done a whole bunch of cool things, but look up Rants of a Sassy Stew and you will find all kinds of fun information.
One of the best shows I had, and again, folks, you're going to hate us because we don't have episodes for you, but I've been almost pushing 5 years, if you can believe it.
Wow.
But way back, I had a girl called Betty in the Sky, and she was a flight attendant, and I never had so much fun in my whole life with the stories that this girl told me. Like, flight attendants are the best.
They are, and they have to deal with a lot of shit.
A lot of shit. So, anyway, I want to just real quick.
Yeah.
The United Airlines, this huge American conglomerate, right?
Mm-hmm.
You think that would be their major problem is they didn't stock the toilet paper on the way to an 11-hour flight from San Francisco
problem.
They apparently were facing a few months ago. They're facing a lawsuit by an 18-year-old California high school student, and she's claiming flight attendants failed to address a passenger who was masturbating in front of her.
What, like the guy went right up to her in her face and was like,
It doesn't, again, these articles never give us as inquiring reporters, we need as much detail.
I want pictures.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know if I want to see.
Well, no, I don't know if I really want to.
I don't know if it's a Magic Mike scene, Susie.
Okay.
But anyway, she asked the flight attendants. They didn't do anything about it. And she's suing. So United you should see a major price drop.
Yeah, I would think so. Now, I got a pretty good rate on American for my LA trip.
I would check United. But I would definitely buy one of those things where, you sleep with those blinders. And
yes.
Unless you want to see the guy masturbate and people go to the loo without toilet paper and Lord knows what else is.
I mean, I wonder if the guy was just sort of under a blanket and kind of minding his own business. So what?
She obviously saw, so he made quite a tent, let's say.
All right. Well, if he was right next to you, that would be,
From what I read, he's kind of a cross and.
Okay.
And he was damn determined to finish what he was going to start, I guess. I don't know. Can you get me one of those napkins from the loo? I know you're out of toilet paper. I took it all, but I'm not quite done yet.
That's why they ran out of toilet paper. Too many people masturbating.
And what the hell are they using for lube? You imagine the stewardess going down the aisle. Coffee, tea, or lube?
Lube.
I got some WD-40 here.
I've heard that Slick 50 works pretty well.
Oh my God, I don't know. So I from there, I sent you this other article this morning.
Yeah.
It was staying on masturbating.
Yes, that was a very good article.
Which is not normally we talk about anything on this show.
Oh.
Manitoba man who masturbated in victim's underwear in bizarre bid to impregnate her. And all the guy got was house arrest.
Well, and when I first saw the heading, I thought, okay, how did he masturbate in her underwear without her knowing this? And then I found out that she was working out or something and, had left things in the locker. And so obviously he just went, jerked off in them. But was he really thinking that was going to work its way up into her lady bits just from having it in her underwear? I mean, come on.
But but here's the thing. They worked at a pig farm.
Oh, well, that explains it.
And you've probably never been to Manitoba, right?
No.
And here I go again. I'm going to isolate another portion of my listeners. Detroit won't tune in. So, I don't think they're the brightest people out there. I don't think they get enough sun. I don't think they get enough vitamin D.
Well,
I don't know what the problem is in Manitoba because we have, British Columbia, Alberta, beautiful places, Ontario, of course, I'm biased, but yeah, Manitoba. But he was following her menstrual cycles.
Yes, because he just wanted her to get pregnant, but she was married and he was married, and then she ended up having a baby 9 months later, but did have a paternity test, so she knew it wasn't his.
Imagine going to court for that.
I know.
I masturbated in her panties, so I would like a DNA test for the paternity of the child. But how do you follow someone's I've become an expert on this, so I know you can track it by moods. Right?
Well, yeah, you can. But I suspect since he was so gross, he was probably checking out maybe the wastebasket.
Yeah,
after she was done in the bathroom or some such shit, So I don't know. The whole thing sounds pretty damn creepy to me.
Yeah, the whole thing was complete. So I've been meaning to tell this story for a few weeks, so I'm not going to get into where I work or what I do.
Okay.
But we work, let's say, in a building near a pretty main area in town here, and there's a young lady, and she listens, and a fantastic gal, who opens alone in the morning at 5:30, very early in the a.m. because we. What can I say without going too far? We place workers out.
Okay.
Okay, that's our job. And a particular worker, she slipped out for a cigarette one day.
Okay.
And was at the back door and glanced up and saw a gentleman masturbating in the alley. So, of course, I come into work, and I'm the second person in, and I'm walking in. I'm jolly Holly me, and you'll never believe what happened. I'm thinking, oh, my God. A million things go through my head, but not that. Not a chance I would think that. And the whole thing goes down, and the police come out, and there's video cameras everywhere, and they got him on surveillance, and the guy got arrested, and I think he got harder time than this guy that tried to impregnate the panties.
Well, okay.
I'm pretty sure he did. And so you people think Canada's a nice place. Think twice. Don't be touching yourself in public places. We don't take fondly to that.
There's so many private places to go. I mean, go behind a bush or something. Don't be out there just for everybody to see.
Under a sheet, in your car.
Yes.
Rent a room.
Yeah, in your car. That's perfect.
I don't know. I need to become more adventurous. I need to publicly expose myself.
That's...
How far can you push the envelope?
Well, I mean, some people really get their jollies out of that. I have never really thought, wow, I'd really like to expose myself in public. That's not something that really does it for me. No,
I've been married quite a long time, and I've had enough time holding my wife's hand. And folks, again, I don't want to alienate anybody, but like lesbians in public kissing, it freaks me out. I'm
okay with that.
Old people pushing their dentures out and doing.
Okay, that's kind of gross.
I'm a very shy Probably that's why we do radio, right? Like it's our podcast.
Right. Don't you love that aspect of it?
Yes.
You can be in your underwear or naked or whatever.
We could be masturbating right now.
We could be masturbating right now and nobody would ever know.
No one even knew you peed in the garbage can or whatever the hell it was.
Nope. I did tell Carl afterwards. He thought that was hilarious.
I think it's awesome. That's the beauty of the whole thing. Oh, Lord. I'm laughing too hard tonight, folks. I'm not supposed to be the one laughing.
I'm crying.
I seriously, when I read all these things, it's like, so and so masturbated here, and so masturbated, and then it happens in your own backyard, and it's like,
I can't say that I have ever run across or caught anyone masturbating.
No, me either.
That I knew of. I mean, and there seems to be a lot of people doing it out in the open, and I've never seen anybody.
It's the out in the open part that's the most shocking of it all.
I would say something probably. I'd be like, dude, you having a good time? What's going on? Again, though, much easier for men to do that in, just anywhere than women.
How does it always get blamed on us?
I don't know. It's because you got the equipment and it's right out there.
It's easier for us to pee.
Yep.
It's easier for us to masturbate.
Yep. It's because you got a handle. It's right there.
It's there. Choke the chicken.
Yep.
Lord. I hope there's no children up this way.
I certainly hope
really.
Children up. Well, there are children up in Australia.
Oh, my God, Carl.
Sorry for all these Australian children that might be listening to this. I feel terrible.
We're really decent, normal people. We just escape to all the weirdness that goes on around us.
Yes.
Anyway, we should talk about the dome, under the dome.
Let's talk about that, because I didn't even know about it. Well, I had heard little bits and pieces about people talking about it, but I still really didn't know what it was, and I didn't know that it was a book or anything until you mentioned it. And because I'm such a good doobie, I went and, read all the articles and watched the episode just for you.
I appreciate that because I got to give you a background on Stephen King.
Yes.
I have a neighbor, and he's a great guy, and I pray to the Lord up above that he's not listening. Anyway, because we've got a great relationship so far. Anyway, he's like really, how can I say this nicely? Really deep.
Okay.
And you gotta be to read Stephen King because
yes,
I don't know if you ever tried to read one of Stephen King's books, but he spends 4 chapters on a brick on the wall.
Yeah. I can't. I'm not that deep.
Yeah, it's not 50 Shades of Grey, folks. It's
no.
But his movies and his miniseries are awesome. I love Stephen King. I just can't read his freaking books.
I have never read one.
Oh, you don't even bother.
No, I already know that I can't.
I remember I picked up The Stand once, and the book was like 2,000 pages, and I'm like, there's no way. But I love It, all those Children of the Corn, all Stephen King. His mind is cool.
It is cool.
Whether or not you like horror, right? It's still, he's just, I don't know where he comes up with this stuff. So there's, like you said to me earlier, all the TV shows are done. Right?
Yes.
It's summertime, whether you watch Hell's Kitchen or
that's a good show.
Yeah, whatever you watch, it's done, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so I see the highlights and I'm like, Stephen King, I'm in. And we went to the fireworks on Monday, so I missed it. I too had to download. But it is really there's a dome.
Yes.
That, covers a town.
And it covered the town suddenly.
Out of nowhere. They can't hear. They can't get out. And when the dome fell, I don't want to be a spoiler, but, there's some really gross... when that cow got cut in half.
My God.
That was so cool.
It was pretty well done how they did it, and and with the houses cut in half and all that kind of stuff. But it's a very, it's always hard in the very first episode because you don't know the characters yet, and you don't know how they're going to play out.
Yeah, and you pick one, and the guy dies.
Right.
Like, I mean, it's surprising, but that's the beauty of it. But my wife is like, I'm like, do you like this, hon? And because she's more, the Oprah Network, Matthew McConaughey movies, those, those type of movies. And which is good. She's very good. She'll watch things with me, and she's like, yeah, this is really cool, but there's like way too many storylines.
Ah, okay.
And it's true. Like, there's got to be, 15, 20 different things going on right now.
Well, right. They started up so many. You know what? I had to go back and watch the first half of it again because of, I don't want to spoil it, but because of some things that happened later on. I thought, wait a minute. And so I had to go back and watch it again. And, oh, yeah. Oh, now I see. But
and we can spoil a little bit because by the time a lot of people listen to this,
that's true.
The
it's
second
already
one, the second one's going to be due. So it's
that's true.
It's 13 parts every Monday, I believe. Right?
Is it Monday or is it Sunday?
Where I am, it's Monday. CBS.
Okay, it's got to be Monday here then.
10:00. Same.
Okay.
So
yeah.
the dude who kidnapped the girl.
Yes.
And has her in the bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Could be a story all alone. That's like the, the cabin in the woods or something. That could be like.
Right. But I couldn't figure out why she was having sex with him. And then all of a sudden it just totally turned dark.
I didn't see that. Oh, you mean he turned dark?
Well, it didn't turn. Yeah, he turned dark.
Because I think she was like having her fun time, and inside her head, I think she wants out of this town.
She just wanted to be fuck buddies, and he wants
and then he says, "Hey, I'm staying. I've dropped out of school for you," and she's like, "Whoa, ton of bricks just landed on me." Right.
That's right. Yep.
And.
The thing that I had to go back, yes, that could be a very interesting storyline there.
I think so. There's a lot of them. Like there's, the one girl's engaged and her husband or her fiance's on the other side, and then I'm going to go ahead and spoil all this shit. You need to watch this, folks. Then there's the reporter who has the guy staying at her house.
Yep.
He murdered the husband, and we don't know why, though.
I know, and that is what I had to go back and watch.
'Cause he doesn't seem like a bad guy.
No, he didn't at all, and I couldn't even remember, because they showed the flashback of the guy's face as he was burying him, when he saw the picture on the mantle. And I thought, what? Did they show this earlier in the show? And then I was all messed up. So I finished watching it and went back to the beginning and just sitting there like, oh my God, So it's obviously that the husband who was killed had some sort of double life.
Yeah, there must be. All these things I think will develop. 13 weeks is a pretty good stretch, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's 13 hours. I mean, you've got why is the propane there? What the cop was just about to tell his deputy, and you've got the car salesman mayor who's power tripping right now, and like all these different, and then you've got the two kids who had the convulsions,
right? And also the cop who's having the reaction with his pacemaker.
Well, he blew up.
Wait a minute. When did he blow up?
At the very end, his heart thing popped right out of his heart. He was just about to tell the girl.
Oh, it popped. Oh, my God. I missed that somehow.
Right at the end, he's saying, I've got something to tell you. I've tried to protect you.
Oh, yes. I remember that.
Yeah, and he goes, about a year ago, and the next thing you know, you think he got shot, but his pacemaker blew.
Holy shit, I thought he was just having like an episode.
No, it popped right over his...
God.
But the kids are saying something like the stars are aligned.
Yes,
I'm not
stars
sure what
are
they
falling
said,
or something like that. That was freaky. And you know what else? That truck crash, when it crashed into the dome, that was really well done.
Yeah, well, all of it. I mean, the woman who had her arm cut off and the cow cut in half is still my favorite. That was like, I could see its heart.
I know.
I was like, oh my God, the heart's still beating.
That was freaky.
Who thinks of this shit?
God, I don't know. We are a twisted bunch.
We are, but these are the kind of shows that get me hooked.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You gotta... I'm the type of guy, I work, I do this stuff. I much prefer to listen to radio and podcasts, and that's normally what I do. I throw my headphones on. When I see a show and something catches me, I'm like, I gotta watch this one. I'll go out of my way on Monday nights to see this through.
I'm actually surprised that it's on a network instead of being on a cable channel.
Well, that's old school, right? Because the cable channels have taken over as far as...
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I so rarely will watch CBS or NBC or one of the big networks. And when I found out this was on CBS, I thought, what? A good show is on a network?
Yeah.
You know,
see, I watched it without the commercials and all that crap, but...
I fast-forwarded through the commercials.
Yeah, I when I downloaded legitimately.
Yes. Good for you.
Yeah, legitimately.
I usually say I acquired.
Yeah, I acquired it through some unknown source. That, no fault of my own.
Right.
But I'm right into it, and so perhaps in the weeks to come, anyone who is about to be a guest on the show should probably watch Under the Dome, because
I think so, because it's interesting enough that it's fun to talk about afterwards.
Yeah, I'm just, but I don't know about you, but like we get on here and like I said before, I said we've got all these stories, but don't worry, we're not going to get to any of them because we always end up talking. So how does someone organize all these plots and actually follow through? You know, what discipline?
The hardest part has got to be introducing all the plots, because it takes a long time. And when you, on the first show, a lot of characters get introduced and a lot of plot lines and stories get introduced. So I would have to say that's got to be the hardest part.
Yeah, because what I think you have to do is you don't see it, but I think they sit down and they write the whole history of these characters.
Oh, sure, they must.
They're not just shells when you meet them. They have this past, and somehow you understand it in like 5 minutes. It's like it's bizarre, right? It's definite talent.
My one son is he does movie stuff. He does directing and he writes and all kinds of things. He does commercials and things. But I have worked on a lot of movies with him, independent type movies. And I've gotten to, it was very interesting learning the process and seeing the storyboards and the stories that are all laid out before any of the action actually occurs. So I feel like I got a little bit of behind the scenes in how these things kind of come about and how you get to really know the character and their background and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think people give enough credit to animation.
Oh, right.
Well, I don't think people give enough credit to any form of art until you really research and you know what I mean? From music to like that cartoon you did on Facebook. Folks, go to my Double K page on Facebook. I've redone it, and it should be on Twitter as well, at WaterCoolerDK. Susan did this thing of us sitting on our computers, and from what I've seen of pictures of Susie, it looks like her, and I felt like I was looking at a cartoon of myself, and now I think you should make, like, I want you to make a series, like a story.
Well, it's
and we can voice it. Like, imagine
Yeah.
how cool that would be. You get Travis and Monica and you and me,
Yep.
everybody out there, and we voice our cartoons.
I am
and
just
put it on YouTube.
I think this app, and I'm not a big one for Facebook apps. I don't do the games. I don't do that stuff.
You're not a Farmville.
I am not a Farmville person. I do play a couple of word games, but I don't play them within Facebook. I do it,
Do you post your dinner?
I may have been guilty of that once or twice. It's more of probably a dessert.
That's another cardinal sin.
But I don't. I try not to do that. And I do post pictures of my pets occasionally. But
well, pets are the best. Pets are
love pets.
immune.
Okay.
To all social media criticism, because the videos of the pets and the pictures, they're fine, except for cats. But anyway.
Well, I have just become a cat owner recently. I've never, ever, ever liked cats. I've always been a dog person. And my daughter, it's a long story, but we now have some cats. And I am pleasantly surprised that I enjoy having them around.
You're happy with it.
I'm okay with it. I am still a dog person.
You won't have any mice.
We won't have any mice. We also have some guinea pigs at our house, so we have kind of a lot of pets.
Guinea pigs, I like guinea pigs, but
they're cute.
We just had an instance of a girl that wanted to go away. Another work story, and one of my coworkers wanted to go away, and she has a dog, and so we called around. And you want to put the dog, if you don't know someone that you can trust, in a safe, and you want the dog to be pampered, and
yes.
you want the dog to be well taken care of, walked and put on recess, whatever. To me, a cat, you can just grab it by the scruff of its neck and throw it outside and say, "I'll be back in 2 weeks."
You know what?
Feed on the squirrels.
That is so true. Because we're going away for about a week in July, and I'm taking the cats to be boarded because they'll be fine with whoever's watching them, but I'm having my son come over to watch our dog.
Yeah, the dog would be far more traumatized.
Oh, totally.
Again, here I am going at the cat lovers, but I just see no personality in cats.
They have their expressions on their faces almost never change.
Yeah, I want to eat you.
Yeah.
That's basically
they just stare at you.
I'm going to steal your breath in your sleep.
Yes, but they do cute things sometimes. And when I have this little feather toy and they jump around and it's very cute. So
but when I leave my dog in the morning, they give you this look, and I worry so much about the anxiety of the thing. And
yes, dogs are wonderful. Dogs they're glad to see you when you get home. You walk in the door and the dog looks at you like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite person. Thank you for coming back." And cats, yeah,
like I said, you're going away for 2 weeks.
Right.
Throw the cat in the front yard. If it doesn't come home, there's another one at the pet store. Like, if the thing doesn't know you, it doesn't remember you. It does, but the dog, as soon as you walk in, the dog's jumping, kissing you. It's just me. But
I know dogs are delightful. I've had dogs my entire life, and
I say cats, squirrels, same thing.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm getting to know about cats a little more, obviously, because we have them. But they definitely do have a personality, but nothing along the lines of a dog.
Yeah.
But I will say, they're much, much easier to have cats.
Oh, by all means. Yeah. By all means. Dogs are very needy. If you let them sleep in your bed, they They take over everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my
cats,
dog's in my bed.
You have to respect the cat for its independence. And it's,
yeah.
I don't know. I just remember when I first met my wife, we were staying at her mom's for a while, and there was this one cat, and I had a gym bag, and the cat peed on it. And I'll never forgive cats for the rest of my life. Ever will forgive cats.
Yeah, that's pretty gross. Although my dog has peed in my bed, she has a little incontinence.
Well, dogs throw up, and they
shit everywhere.
They shit, you know.
Yeah, but I don't. It doesn't matter. I love dogs. They're wonderful, and they love you back. That's
I think if I could live with dogs, and I trust me, I love my family more than anything on earth. But if I could have like 5 dogs. I'd be so happy. They're just so understanding and loving, and
they're always there. And they don't. If you're in a bad mood and you don't want to interact with them, they understand.
Yeah.
But they're always there when you need them.
And they're just like me. They love chips. They
They
love
do
potato
love
chips. I've never met a dog that does not like potato chips.
Now, does your dog like ice cream?
Yeah, but that's like slow death, right? Ice cream, chocolate.
Well,
Gotta
ice
watch
cream
that stuff. They have no
okay.
pancreas.
Right, but it's okay. Ice cream is not too bad in small amounts.
But they do. They love it. They love anything. I rattle a piece of paper. I could rattle a piece of fly paper right now.
Oh, I know.
And my dog
and they're just
would
like,
come
yeah,
running
that's
thinking,
my favorite toy.
Yeah. Oh, kibbles and bits, kibbles and bits.
I know. I totally agree. Our dog right now, I've never had a dog this big. She's about 90 pounds.
That is huge.
Yeah, she's a big girl. And we got her after our other dog passed away. She was almost 14, and it was devastating. And we waited, I don't know, 2-3 months. And then we found our current dog, Ellie Mae, at a shelter. And I did not want such a big dog. But, well, we bonded.
It was small when you bought it.
Yeah. Well, when I went out to see her, they said she was about 60 pounds. And I thought, okay, well, that's doable. Our other one was 50. And she's just gotten a lot bigger since we've had her.
The only thing I find is I have a small dog, and the bigger ones we babysit. We're the go-to people.
Oh,
we're like,
nice.
Hey, we're going away. We're going on a cruise. Hey, congrats.
Mm-hmm.
Watch our dog? Yeah, of course. I love dogs. I can't turn any way. But we had this one big, huge, it was like a shepherd lab mix or something.
That's what mine is.
He'd go in, and I'd have water everywhere. I'm not mean, but he loved the toilet.
Of course. It's right there.
Yeah. And
just the right height.
In my house, it's not that wide. And the dog would literally walk backwards out of the bathroom. It was like a row. I almost, I'd sit there sometimes, pretend I had a remote control. And anyway, Susie, one more quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll wrap this whole thing up. And I am predicting now already you have to come back.
I would absolutely love to.
Because we're not even skimming
I know.
the
We
surface
have
of what.
so much to talk about.
For sure. Mm-hmm. So let's take a quick 5.
Okay.
And we'll come back.
Okay.
All right, folks, you are listening to, and this is the part where I have to go into my robot position here, Double Talk Radio, Wednesday nights, 9 o'clock Eastern, or on demand at doublekradio.com, with Susan Wygmans from Toggle the Switch at toggletheswitch.com. Got to go listen to that. Next week is Andrew Clark from Andrew on the Web. Interesting fellow from New York. We're going to have a good time. And 2 weeks from now, Matt Vanderpool, my buddy from Ohio. And then I got to start booking after that. I might just be on the horn. Susan! I forgot the book.
Well, I'm usually pretty free. This is a good time for me.
Good. That's awesome. So,
and it's nice that we're the same time zone.
Nice time zone, same time zone. It's summer.
Yep.
When it snows, it snows. And
Mm-hmm.
All right, folks, stay tuned. We'll be back. Go tweet. Tell your friends. We're live. I better push the button this time.
Yes. I did tweet us out there.
Let's do this in private.
Hardware, Nick speaking.
Hi, Nick. Hope you can help me out here. I'm in a bit of a jam here.
Okay.
My kids, they crazy glued the toilet seat.
Mm-hmm.
This is pretty embarrassing. I'm sitting here stuck on the toilet seat.
Well, let me see. I know we've got a solvent for that, but I think what you're probably going to end up having to do is you might end up calling paramedics.
Look, Nick, this between you and me.
I'm not going to say a word to anybody.
Well, come on, Nick, think, man. I feel you can help me out of here.
I'll do what I can.
I'm getting scared because, if that stuff can hold a construction worker up by his hard hat, it definitely ain't going to let go of me and my ass.
About the only thing that removes a glue like that is acetone.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. Ooh, I'm so embarrassed, but I had to go. I'm sorry. All right, now what'd you say, Nick?
Acetone. It's a very caustic substance. It's pretty heavy duty.
What? So it's like a salve for your ass?
No, what it actually is, it's never really thought of it like that.
Okay, and you have that there at your store?
We do.
Oh, well, Nick. Okay, that problem solved. Come on over. Bring some of that over here. And rub it on my behind parts, and man, I'll be up and out.
Well, the thing is I don't want to end up doing more damage that's already been done.
Nick, I got a toilet seat stuck to my ass. You can't do no more damage than that. Nick, you get to see me naked. I work out. I got a 6-pack and a toilet seat. Be like Abraham Lincoln and come over here and set me free. Come emancipate my ass.
Problem is, I don't drive.
I'ma send a cab over there to you.
I'm sorry, but I absolutely
Nick,
can't.
you can do this. Look, have confidence in your abilities, Nick. You go grab that ass salve and you march out that door with your head up high, hop in that cab. You make your way right here and set my ass free. Okay.
I am absolutely not.
Free my ass. Free my ass. Free my ass. Thank God Almighty, I'm gonna free my ass.
I really think for your safety, it's gonna be best if professionals handle it.
My sticky ass is your destiny, baby. This is your job. Every now and then, God sends you a job to do. This is your job. Who knows? I could be an angel. Wait a minute. Hey, I'm off. Okay, never mind. Thanks, Nick.
No problem. Glad to see you're off.
Hi, everyone. Be sure to check us out at doublekradio.com. Follow DK on Twitter at WaterCoolerDK. For all the inside scoops and latest news, like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Double K Radio. Double K Radio, where talk comes alive.
And now, a message to our competitors. Thanks for tuning us in.
Lido missed the boat that day. He left the shack, but that was all he missed.
Boss Skaggs. Do you know Boss Skaggs?
Not personally.
No, me either, but I like that song. I've always liked that song.
I know him.
All right, Susan, on the break where no one heard us pee or flush or do anything
God,
nasty.
how embarrassing. It's not like everybody does that or anything.
You know what, though? If that's what it takes for you perverts out there to stay listening to the show, then we will do it every single week.
You got that right.
You don't watch the guy who walked across the Grand Canyon, you'd rather hear people publicly pee on the internet. Sick dogs, you are. Anyway, so you wanted to mention the app about the cartoons because this is so cool, folks. Whether you have Susan on Facebook or me on Twitter, there's these cartoons and they're so cool. Like, go ahead,
couldn't
Susan.
believe it. The first time I saw them, I thought somebody had drawn it. And people think I'm drawing these and I'm not. It's an app on Facebook called Bit Strips. And it is so goddamn clever. I can't stop doing it. You make a little cartoon of yourself and it's super customizable. You look at your picture and you can, adjust like how far apart your eyes are and put lines in your face and hats and all kinds of stuff. Like I made one for Carl and he shaves his head, so he's got like stubble on his head.
I saw that one. Yeah, I saw that one too.
And stubble for a beard because I'm always wanting him to grow his beard, but he only does it in November for the beard month thing.
Oh, Movember.
Yeah, Movember. And I think he looks really nice with a beard, but he says it bugs the shit out of him. So
it's very scratchy. I'll go to bat for him there.
He grew a handlebar mustache last year, and he just was playing with it constantly, and he couldn't wait to shave the thing off. But anyway, I think he looks real nice with a beard. But his little cartoon guy turned out really good. I think it looks a lot like him, and I think yours looks quite a bit like you.
It was amazing. I looked at it and I went, whoa. Well, you saw me. I'm like, I'm supposed to be getting ready for the show, and I'm like, that cartoon is so fucking cool.
Well, the cool thing is when you are going to cartoonize another person, it brings up their photos. So you can sit there and actually look at a picture and think, okay, I got to do this, and this. And now you had a beard in one picture, like a goatee.
Yes. Yeah, that was a while ago. Yeah.
But I went with the one where you've got the red shirt on. And
yeah, I'm clean shaven. And that's
clean shaven. Yeah.
My wife does not like stubble at all.
I like all facial hair.
Yeah. See, she's like, you're scratching me. You didn't shave today.
Well, that's true because, beard stubble can be very scratchy, but like a nice beard, my husband has a full beard, and it's very soft. It's nice.
I think once you're given the chance to grow it, right?
Yeah.
But it's like that razor commercial I see. It's got, the one woman likes the full beard, the other one likes a little bit of stubble, the other one likes no hair whatsoever. It's something for everyone, as seen on TV.
Right.
But anyway, these cartoons, folks, you have to check it out, and you'll have so much. I haven't even gone there yet. I'm going to try soon, but.
Yeah, I mean, I just went. I didn't know until recently because I didn't think Carl would make one, because he doesn't do a whole lot of stuff on Facebook. So I thought, I wish I could make one of him, but I didn't know how to do it, and then I just tried it. And it just lets you do it.
Is it easy or?
Yeah, I mean, it's easy. It walks you through the steps. You start out with just a face, and then you kind of pick a face shape. And you're not limited. After you're done, you can go back and customize everything.
That's too cool. Really,
yeah, it's cool. Really a lot of fun.
We are all going to be cartoons by the end. We're all going to be Disney Pixar. But it is. It's too cool. Check it out, folks. Like
very clever.
You can have fun.
So good job, Bit Strips.
It's awesome. And Bitstrip should be sponsoring all the podcasts.
I agree.
And we'll cartoon everyone.
Everybody.
And
I mean, it didn't take me that long to do, and I had to design you. So that took a little longer, but then I found, and then the thing you have to do is that the cartoon scenes, they'll come with a pre-set, like a canned caption.
The only thing I was really, really happy with is you made me look so young.
I made myself look young, too.
I'm like, wow, that's so cool. If I look like that in real life, I have found the fountain of youth. I truly have stopped aging.
I figure we might as well make our cartoons look good.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. But you just go and I wanted to find something where we were on a computer or something. So I found that, and actually the original caption was something like, Susan posted a disgusting picture of Ken on Facebook or something like that. Well, I didn't want that. I wanted it to be about, audio and Skype and stuff. So I got rid of that caption, and then you can add the little speech bubbles. And there's also thought bubbles. It's just really clever. I think you're going to have a riot with it.
I will. And then I'll Ken, how come your show was so shit this week? Well, I was busy playing with cartoons. So who knows? Maybe I will cancel broadcasting altogether and just be a cartoonist from now on.
Yeah.
I think there's so much potential there. It's so cool. It was like, everybody wants to be a Saturday morning cartoon.
Oh, yeah. Well, we should get the whole Pod Mafia and get a group picture.
I think so. And if you can Photoshop that, that should be your project.
I think it's going to be my project.
And that should be what do they call that thing that goes at the back of your Facebook? Your banner or whatever they call it.
Oh, your cover.
Your
cover
your
picture,
Facebook cover, yeah.
The one I have right now is Carl's and mine. It's like
cool.
it.
You saw me last night. I'm like, by the way, I kept saying goodnight to Suzanne.
Yeah.
She probably thought I was stalking her. Good night, I got to go to work. And by the way.
Blah, 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 blah.
One more question.
Well, it was a good chat.
It was. But I saw those cartoons. I'm like, they're too cool. I haven't seen Travis yet or Ed, but must be
Travis and Ed are similar.
That's what I was going to say. Must be the same frame.
Yeah, it is similar.
Do the hairline a little different?
Yep.
Yeah.
I actually have gotten emails from several people saying, I heard you're doing all this cartooning on Facebook, and I thought, I can't take credit for this. I'm not doing it. I mean, yeah, I'm using the app to make the things, but it's not like I'm the artist or anything.
But still, you're the founder. You're the Christopher Columbus of this whole thing.
Well, I suppose maybe for our little podcast network, I am. So everybody go do it.
And it makes you go back and say, you're the first one to do this. Who was the first person that played Farmville?
Oh my!
Who actually sat there first and laid eggs and whatever the hell they do?
They plant things and
it said, "I'm going to send this to Wally," and then Wally started playing. And before you know it, Farmville's it's like lupus. I mean,
Farmville, and there's so many other things that have spawned from Farmville, and I realize some people really like doing this and. No offense to these people. I think it's great, and I think you're great, but I hate Farmville.
You don't have to apologize to anybody on my show. I mean, Farmville is ridiculous, and I've said this before. They have these cards you can buy at Walmart and, get $100 credit or whatever, and I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
Jesus Christ.
If you're going to start spending money on this stuff, and I've played these games, and you know what? People say to me, they'll say, you know what, DK, you rip on all this shit. All you do is rip on Facebook and the games. You're right. I usually play them, and I try them for about 10 levels. then
I tried it. I played Farmville.
Yeah, and then you
a couple
abandon
of
it
times.
because
Oh,
you get
totally.
bored, and same as Candy Crush and
Oh,
Words
my
with
God.
Friends and all these
now,
games.
Wait a minute now.
I've tried them all,
I
but
love
I get
Words
bored.
with Friends. I
Yeah,
love
Words with Friends. People are smarter than me, and I get pissed off.
I am good at it. I will admit
I'm like,
that.
that's not a fucking word. You got to be kidding me.
Hey, you get good. You get so you know these weird words.
Like IE. Come on, that ain't a fucking word. Like, I can't make nothing with 7 letters.
Hey, my favorite
And-
one is QI.
Yeah, like these are words.
It's some kind of Chinese unit of money or something. I actually looked it up.
But I played, and I was actually doing really good. I must have been playing with someone who was minor than me. And I'm playing, and I'm making words, and I'm thinking, oh, yeah, you got a 10-letter score or whatever it is. And then I played this one person, and they literally really fucking pissed me off because, there's those little spots on the boards, and they'd be laying cubes like AE.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's not a word. And they go like TQ, and they get credit. And every time I typed in something like run, maybe it was the Canadian spelling of run, and it didn't count. But I got enraged by that game.
Yeah.
And I just said, fuck this shit.
I
I'm
can
not
see
playing it
that.
anymore.
I think Carl lasted about 2/3 of one game with me. And then he just couldn't be... he's just like, I can't be fucked to finish this.
Yeah,
This
it's
is
just not
ridiculous.
fun anymore. Like,
No.
I mean, it's okay when you come up with a word like, okay, you've got all this room and you write because. And then I come in and I'm really stuck, so I wrote is. And then I see words, and then it's the way you position them. So you put like a T and an E, and you instantly make 4 words that don't fucking exist. It's not fair. See, I'm getting upset now.
Well, and the bitch part about playing an online, like a Scrabble or Words with Friends, is that you can try words that you think might possibly be a word. And like when you play actual Scrabble, people will challenge you if they don't think it's a word, and it may not be a word, but you miss that element of the challenge.
Yeah.
When you play online, because if it finds it in the dictionary, it's going to say, okay, that's a word. And then it will let you play it. And so you could try just any combination of a word that you think might possibly work, and then it may take it, and you might not even know what the word is.
Yeah, to me, it's like graffiti. It's not real. I sit there and I go, I was born at night, but not last night. Like, these are not words.
Yeah. But they're in the dictionary.
They are, so
the
they
game
count.
says it counts, yeah.
But what dictionary? Wikipedia? I could put a Wikipedia page up too, and
probably in the Urban Dictionary.
yeah, anyway. I mean, all credit to people that play these games, and I was into this one that was like this. It was like a medieval thing, and I was going and killing all these monsters, and I was getting stronger armor. And then the one day, this thing pumped up and said, you need 15 diamonds to buy this thing. You can buy them now on PayPal for $200. And I'm like, come on.
God.
You just spoiled everything.
No way.
I'm not spending $200 to play a freaking game. My kid has a tablet. He's 9, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, everything is free. He's not Minecraft, nothing.
Right.
You're not spending money. You don't need to. There's so many apps and games, and you don't need to.
Right. And it's good that they have a lot of games for kids, but then, they have those in-app purchases where the kid thinks, oh gosh, I want to get these 500 coins so I can build this little house over here.
Yeah, I'll just put it on Dad's credit card.
Yeah, and if you have it set up that way, they can do that. So you do have to watch that. But
oh yeah, it's terrible. Everyone's like, oh, you got to block the porn sites, and you got to block this, and you got to block violence. Never mind that shit. It's the freaking My Little Pony game.
oh yeah.
Those are the ones that are going to cost you money. Because they're going to order an extra, I need this weapon. All of a sudden you got this ding on your smartphone that says, a bill for $49.99.
I know it. But, oh my God, the technology today. I do love technology, though. I mean,
I'm doing my very best, Susie, to embrace it. But
and I like
just
it
when
too,
I think I'm, and this is what I got mad before we went on air. I embrace all this stuff, but the tiniest thing, like the guys from the utility company decide to cut a wire across the street, and I'm like, I can't do a fucking show now. I got all this equipment. I went to Best Buy. I got a great mic. I got a new computer. Someone snips the power. I'm done.
You're all done. Or if they put a dome over you, you're all done.
Exactly. The dome crashes down.
Yeah.
It's funny you say that because, you're talking about cartoons and all these. I actually had a frame, and I've been encouraged to work on this by several friends that do kind of the same stuff we do. I want to do an audio drama.
Oh, interesting.
And I wrote the shell of it, and the shell of it was of this one DJ who is left after a nuclear apocalypse.
Uh-huh.
And similar to what I do, he does a comedy show. And then all of a sudden, he is the voice of whatever's left.
Oh,
and I had the frame written out. And everyone's encouraging me. They're like, great idea, and you've got the voice for it, and you know all these people that'll join you. And I'm like, you don't understand. I hate writing. That's my problem.
Yeah, I hate writing,
I can't sit
too.
there with the word and type in everyone's lines, and so I got to this point with it, and everyone's like all behind it, and this is great. Can I be in it? And then you're going to be this character, and I even came up with all. And then I'm like, who's going to write all this shit? 'Cause I ain't got time for it.
Well, and that is the problem. I really admire people who can write.
So that's as far as I got. I came up with this great idea, and if you're listening, steal it, and just maybe name a character after me or something. But I mean, seriously, there's so much. I knew a guy. I know a couple people that do that, and they do audio dramas and the editing that goes into a 20-minute. There's a one show. I encourage you to Google. 118 Migration. It's a zombie apocalypse.
Okay.
And it's like 20-minute shows. Apparently takes like 3 months. With the sound effect, with all the sound effects and the acting, and I just wouldn't have the patience to.
Did you know that the show Royal and Doodle?
Oh, I love that one too. Yeah.
They did kind of an audio, they called it a pantomime, actually. It was earlier, it was like January of this year, and what they did was, I'm pretty sure Angus wrote it, he sent out the lines.
The one where what's his name died?
No.
Or was that just a teaser they had?
I think that was just a teaser they had going. And this was about, it was like,
Tommy Royal died.
Yeah, that was that didn't happen.
Well, I was very upset, by the way, you frickin' morons. Anyway.
I know, I was too. But anyway, he sent the lines to everybody, and what we did was we all recorded our lines individually. And then we all emailed the audio clips to him, and he stitched them all together and put in sound effects and whatnot. It took him a long time. I think it was I want to say it was a 3-part episode, but that must have been a clusterfuck.
Yeah, I would love to, like, even when I do like mixes for intros and stuff, like the one I did tonight was brand new. It had Travis, Mike Sains, and Monica. It took me 3 hours to clip it, put it to the music right, get the sound level right,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the work that goes into this, this is why I like live. Just turn it on, talk, whatever happens. You hear a flush, whatever.
Yes.
Someone farts, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, there's no work to it.
That's true. It does make it a lot easier. Definitely.
In a way, but I have another friend who does a show called Shatter Planet, and they do a show about once every 2-3 months, and they record in one 8-hour night, and then the one dude goes back and masters and remasters and goes through it all, and I respect how hard that is.
Oh yeah.
But in the same vein, imagine doing what we're doing right now, and we have not stopped.
Right.
We're almost at the end. 2 hours. And we have nothing to fall on except for, we got no material, we're going to close early. Right? But there's that contrast of live versus recorded. I respect the mastery of recorded art. It sounds perfect. The sound effects are, and the work that goes into it. But at the same time, to do something live, that takes a little bit of art too, in my opinion.
Oh, definitely. And I told you before, I got to thinking about this today, and I thought, oh my God, this is going to be live, and I was thinking, and then I was getting nervous, and I was thinking, what are we going to talk about? And what if I do something stupid? But it's been great. I haven't even thought of it.
If something stupid happens, is usually what makes the show great.
Right, yes, and our peeing break was great.
Well, that's what says, whoa, that's what's going to skyrocket the the ratings,
right.
Which says a whole hell of a lot about me and my journalistic.
Hey,
but the other thing I'm realizing, Susan, I said this to Monica the other night. I said, I've realized I used to get authors and different, I've gone the whole gambit of serious, funny, whatever. When you get an author, it's like they're expecting the scripted, and it just doesn't work. But when you get other people that kind of do I know I'm live, I'm different, but we all kind of do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
It just goes.
Yeah.
And I don't think I will ever veer from having other show hosts as working with me because, hell, we can talk. That's what we do.
That is the ideal thing. In fact, Carl and I I was telling him something about Travis, and Carl said something about, well, yeah, it's tough to get a word in edgewise with him, but that's because he's a great host. He can talk.
See, I didn't have that was another great show. I have a blast. And each and every one of you is unique amongst yourselves, and it's like another out-of-body experience.
I know, I have loved
it. It's like every time I get on, I'm like, this show was great. How am I going to top it? And then I get to the next one, and I'm like, there's no way. Which one's the best? You never know. It's a blast, and it's just...
it is a blast. I absolutely love doing this.
I think it's the stand-up of the internet.
I think so, too. And I love to listen to, talk radio and stuff. Any kind of voices. Instead of, even long before there were podcasts and stuff, I always wanted to listen to talk radio at night.
Yeah, I love talk radio. I love, I don't know. I'm probably, when you said you were a fan for that long before you did a show, I'm thinking, man, I thought I was the only one. Because I literally sometimes I like, oh, I can't believe I got this person on. Like it's so cool. And then, but everyone like yourself and Travis and you're all normal people and it's so much fun. It's like, why wouldn't anyone do this? It's better than CB radios. Like
that is so true. And I've had in most of the vast majority of the guests that I have had on are just friends of mine, and a lot of them are podcasters. Mike Sains was one of our first people that we had on because I admired his podcast. And I thought, well, gosh, I wonder if he'd be on our show, and he's like, oh, of course, and now we're good buddies. And, I've never really had anybody super famous or anything on my show.
The best thing you can ever have, though, is you speak of Mike, and it's like I got this. I was in like a rut because you go in ruts, right? Like you're like, I just can't. I hear, like you said, Travis, whoever, people say like, I don't know if I'm going to do this every week now, folks. I just, I want to give you my best, and I went through this thing. I was trying to record it, and you go back and listen, and I think it's really crappy stuff, but. And then this one day, like Mike pings me, and he's like, "When the hell am I coming back?" And I'm like, wow, thank you.
He was really excited. I mean, I've been looking forward to this for a long time. And, but when I found out that Mike was doing it too, we were talking about it, and he was so excited to be, I think he was your first one.
Yeah. On the network. He had done the very first one. We'll go back.
Okay.
How much time? We got about 7 minutes. Good.
All right.
The very first one was Monica.
Oh.
What I did is, and I can't say I was doing this before anyone because I don't know, but you're kind of lost in limbo by yourself, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's such a big community. I put an ad in Radio Guest List. And Monica answered, and I'm like,
oh, no kidding.
I'm like, wow, she seems really cool, like different than the rest of the guests.
Yeah, very cool.
I wanna do a show with her, and we did one, and it was fantastic. I loved her to pieces right off the bat, and then she came back, and I'd have to check everything, but I think Monica's been on 5 times. She's my mainstay, but she's the one that says, you should have Travis, and you should have Susan, and you should have Mike, and I'm like, these people aren't going to go on my show. Nothing against Monica. She's amazing. But I just I feel like, excuse me, Monica used to do a segment on my show called Moron of the Week. And we're just kind of helping each other. So she'd come on, and then but through the time that she wasn't there, I would have a 5-minute segment every show that Monica would do one of her weird criminal stories.
Nice.
And if you go back and listen through all the terrible audio and problems I was having, but she would be there, and anyway, she turned me on to everyone, and it's more than mutual. When Mike pinged me that time, it was like, when you having me back? And I'm like, wow. It was a blast, but I'm so happy.
I know, it's fun. It's really fun.
And he had Marlo on, and we had a crack of a time. And then, of course, honest to God, when I was having Travis on, I was having a nervous breakdown.
Oh, no.
I was like, I'm not going to be able to carry a show with this guy. There's absolutely no way. He said, yes, I can't believe this. It's like a little kid going with an autograph book. And yet I had the best time. And then I'm like, oh, my God. And with all of you, I'm like, and you'll all come back. We'll do this again.
Awesome.
I guarantee it. And I'm like, Travis, it'd be so cool. You know what? I'm busy, and I'm thinking, here comes the letdown, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll make time. we'll do this.
Yeah, he always does that. In fact, he's been on with us several times, and he always says that. He's always like, I will make the time to do this. And they're just awesome. And then I did a show with just Brandy, and that was all kinds of fun.
Yeah, I love her too. And I should reach out to her too. That would be.
Yeah, she is just a hoot. She's so funny, and she doesn't even know it.
Oh, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, she just says the most charming things. I just love it. And those two in person are they're just like they are on the podcast. They're delightful.
Now,
and
that would be so cool. You've had the chance to meet these people.
Yes.
And, I have my own circle too. I've done a show with like Cheap Country Hick and Matt Vanderpool. We did the International Panel of Weird. We've done
that sounds great.
21 episodes of NNTN Radio where we make prank calls and and these guys are there and just amazing people that you never get to meet. I'd love to meet each and every. Not all my guests, but all these podcasters would be amazing. Yeah.
I do hope that we can get some kind of a Midwest thing, because there's a lot of people that are in, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Canada. Of course, Monica is way over there. She'd be more likely to go to L.A.
She says she's moving to Toronto, though. So.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't know that.
And I got to pimp this out because, of course, I'm always stalking everyone. But Travis is on the next Dazed and Convicted.
Oh, he is.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful.
Should be a good one.
Oh, it undoubtedly will be a good one.
So, but... Susie.
Yes.
Susie Q.
Yes, my dear.
It's that time.
I can't believe it.
Me either. I told you.
I can sit here for another 2 hours. This has just been awesome.
And I'm going to have you back. See, I am going to, folks, recycle about
Please
the same...
recycle. Please use me.
Oh, of course I will. I haven't had a woman say that to me in years. But it's nice to hear. I've got a few more on my hit list, but maybe if you do the cartoon, I don't, how many people can you have on Skype at once?
You can have quite a few on with audio.
Could you imagine if we, maybe I'll do that around Labor Day.
I mean, it is fun, and people kind of, we'd all
have to shut up and let the other one speak.
That's the problem.
Right?
You do have to shut up and let the other one speak. Gavin, Jagged Podcast, Gavin Maxwell.
Yep.
He did a huge, 2-day thing where people were just calling in Skype, and sometimes there'd be multiple people on. And I don't know how he stayed up that long, but that was a ton of fun.
I'm far too old for that. Far too old for I can handle maybe a 4 or 5 hour double talk telethon, but
so a double talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 days.
I don't know how he did that. That was he is a lot younger than we are, so.
There's no way I could stay up that long. My kid would be down here smacking me.
Well, that's true. You do have a young kid. Mine are grown, so I don't have to worry about that.
Anyway, Susie.
Yes.
I will be definitely in touch. I want to see more cartoons.
Okay.
And we'll get you back here soon, very soon.
Great.
And,
sounds awesome.
Who knows? Maybe we'll get Carl.
I would love to have. In fact, I already sent Carl a message that I really want to have you on ours.
Oh, I'd be flattered.
And totally... it would be okay because you're the same time zone as me.
Yeah, I'd be. Trust me. Yes, you've got a yes.
Yes, wonderful.
So, yeah, just let me know. So
yep.
I'm free. Most of the time it's not radio stuff, it's family and
we all have our real lives.
Yeah, I got to get cats because the dogs take far too much time.
That is true. They do take time.
They do. But, ladies and gentlemen, ToggleTheSwitch.com.
Yes.
Susan Wygman has been my guest, and it's been a blast. And she will be back. I will stalk her
Yay!
if she does not come back. And I hope you all have a great week. And tune in again next week. Andrew Clark from Andrew on the Web will be with us. That's a new one I haven't ventured into yet, so uncharted territory again. But it should be fun.
Well, thank you. I had such a good time.
I had a blast. Too.
Great.
You have a great night. We'll talk to you soon. Oh, shit. Selena Gomez. Imagine that. I'm such a sick man.